It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS.
Insurance is very political, and it's each state based. Every state has its own version.
Yeah. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how different are the states? Is it like apples and oranges, or is it like apples and asparagus?
Apples and asparagus for sure. Yeah, every state, it's because it's political. It depends on the color of the state sometimes, like let's go back to California. They very much want their own marketplace. So you got to go on the state plans basically, or government funded plans. And so it's not an open market. You can't just go to United Healthcare and get a plan as easily because the United Healthcare won't participate in that market. It's not competitive against the government.
And is it just purely like state by state that dictates whether or not they want it? Like, because wasn't part of the Affordable Care Act, like, wasn't the intent to have it be an open market? And then the states are just kind of like, but no, we don't want it to be an open market. Or like, what's the deal?
What's the deal is follow the money. So the government, there's different ways of looking at it, I suppose. I mean, it depends on your backgrounds too, as individual backgrounds, but the government will subsidize, just like an employer would subsidize your insurance, basically. So it's based on your tax, your income, your state, and some other health status, things like that. But I totally just lost my train of thought.
No, I think it's super interesting that because it reminds me of workers' comp insurance. Like, we have different employees in different states, and like every time we hire somebody in a different state, I get blindsided by, oh shit, there's like a workers' comp thing we need to do, and I don't think of it because I'm like, we're in Minnesota, except now I'm getting a letter from North Dakota, and then I'm getting a letter from here. So on the health insurance side, I understand the state by state thing, but like elaborate on it a little bit.
Okay,
more, like
so insurance. Yeah. So insurance is there. You're right. There is some framework that is consistent across the entire country. In our country, there's only certain ways to do insurance. And it's going to be the government, it'll be an employer, or it'll be an individual. So unless you're 65, and then it's also back to Medicare, which is be government as well. So then you've got all the companies that provide the insurance, and they will participate in the market if they're competitive. Each state regulates what's allowed and what's not. Like short-term medical insurance was originally designed to get you from employer to employer. You can grab a month or two of insurance and not have to do COBRA. You can just buy it directly from the provider. But that expanded. So like in Texas, you can have 3 months of short-term, so it's 3 years worth of it instead of 3 months.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So
short-term, air quotes.
Short-term,
very valuable.
And it's 3 years worth. But in Michigan, you would be 6 months, and then you have to take a 6-month break, and you can't have another batch of it until 6 months goes by. So they kind of limit how much you have. So
and then
it's a market.
You like have to go on a employer plan or a government plan or something in that case.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go on a government plan, but you lose your window if you did that path. You got to be careful what path you take, because once you lose your job, you can go to get a marketplace plan from the Obamacare, ACA plan. You only have like 60 days or something like that to jump on one once you lost your coverage. Okay. So if you chose to go and buy your own plan outside of that, you can easily lose that time period, and then you have to wait to open enrollment, which is just around the corner.
I was gonna say, I feel like those are the conversations I'm having right now. This is gonna sound very Seinfeld of me, and I'm hopping around all over the place. I want to come back to how the fragmentation of the health insurance industry works. Okay. But what's the deal with open enrollment? Like, why does it have to be this, like, here's your window, otherwise you're effed?
You know what? I feel like it's hunting season for me.
Now you're
because everybody. Now you're there. You go. Everybody is in heat, right? So everybody's hearing it. We're being pounded with advertising and everything like that. But really, what it is the government plans are open enrollment. Everything else is year round. You can go anytime you want to do these other plans. But right now, everybody's so sensitive to hearing it that you're more likely to pick up clients that way.
Okay, because I like in the corporate world, our open enrollment, I feel like, was always started October 1st, ended October 31st. It seemed like
Yeah.
And I feel like my wife's is the same, and I feel like we have health insurance through Blue Sky's our parent company, and it's through Blue Cross, but that's still the same.
Yeah.
Is that like
That's
common?
that is a
October period.
No, it's different for every company because it's when you started. It's like a calendar year or a cycle from one year to the next year. So if you started every summer, every July, it's going to be your open enrollment for that employer. You know,
oh, really?
That's when he signed the paperwork.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay.